Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Monday, May 26th. Coming up on Cullman Today, Hogan is back behind bars in Cullman County murder case. Gudger secures $250,000 for Good Samaritan Health Clinic. Britton announces candidacy for Cullman City Board of Education Place 5, and a local road closure notice. All of this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. A Cullman man who was out on bond on a murder charge saw his bond revoked on Monday, May 19th by Cullman County Circuit Court Judge Emily Johnston for allegedly violating the terms of his pretrial release. Randall Dwayne Hogan, 69 of Cullman, was arrested back on October 30th, 2023. The arrest was a significant development in a case that had been under investigation by the Cullman County Sheriff's Office for more than 3 years, the disappearance of Jeffrey Glenn Wilhite, a 59-year-old Vinemont resident who went missing from the West Point community on April 3rd, 2020. Cullman County District Attorney Champ Crocker shared that Hogan was granted a bond in 2023. The DA filed to revoke his bond because he was arrested for a new offense. A contested revocation hearing was held last Monday, and Judge Johnston revoked his bond and jailed him. Hogan will be held without bond until his trial. Senate President Pro Tem Garlan Gudger has secured $250,000 in state funding for Good Samaritan Health Clinic in Cullman. According to Gudger's office, over the past year, Gudger has brought home a total of $1.25 million in funding from Montgomery for Good Samaritan and the health care services it provides to the community. Gudger described Good Samaritan Health Clinic as a crucial lifeline for lower-income working men and women. He says the clinic has improved the health and saved the lives of countless individuals throughout the Cullman community. Gudger's office said that he got the $250,000 appropriated into the state's general fund budget, which was signed into law by Governor Kay Ivey on May 5th. The other $1 million came from the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs and was announced on May 13, 2024. Good Samaritan delivers sustainable long-term health care to the uninsured members of the Cullman community. Among the services it provides are treatment of chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, dental extractions, mental health counseling, hearing evaluations, vision care for high-risk individuals, and other social services. For more information about Good Samaritan Health Clinic, visit www.goodsamaritan.com. Mark Britton has announced his candidacy for Place 5 on the Cullman City Board of Education. Place 5 is currently held by Amy Carter, who is seeking re-election. According to Britton's announcement, he is a longtime educator, coach, community leader, and public servant with more than 3 decades of experience in education. Britton retired from coaching in 2017 and from the classroom in 2022. He says that after a career spent on the field and in the classroom, he wants to continue serving in a way that puts students first, supports teachers, and builds on the strong foundation of Cullman City Schools has already established. Britton says he is committed to helping build a school system that will serve his grandchildren and future generations of Cullman students. Britton hopes to bring his experience and passion to the Cullman City School Board, focusing on transparency, collaboration, and excellence in education. The municipal election will take place Tuesday, August 26th. The City of Cullman is alerting drivers of a road closure beginning Tuesday, May 27th. The section of Oak Drive from 5th Avenue Northeast to 3rd Avenue Northeast will be closed for storm drain storm box replacement. This section of Oak Drive in front of the Cullman High School football field and Cullman Middle School will be closed for approximately 2 weeks. The city asks that you plan accordingly. And those are the top stories in Cullman today. Coming up, Wallace State finishes 3rd in the NJCAA World Series. Sports is next.
I'm Lieutenant Chad Whaley with the Cullman County Sheriff's Office. and it's my pleasure to announce 2 upcoming firearm familiarization classes that we'll be hosting for the general public. With springtime here and summer quickly approaching, we know just how valuable everybody's time is. Because of that, we've decided to offer 2 trainings. The first will take place on May 20th. The second will be the following Thursday on May 29th. Both classes will take place from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at our shooting range, which is located off of County Road 122. The spots will be limited, so we do ask that you register. In order to register, you can simply email me at cwhaley@colemansheriff.org. You will receive one-on-one instruction from our deputies and firearms instructors that will teach you how to safely and effectively use and care for your firearms. From the Cullman County Sheriff's Office, we just want to say thank you for continuing to make Cullman County special, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome back. Let's lead off today's sports segment with a recap of Wallace State's stellar finish at the NJCAA World Series in Arizona. After advancing with big wins over McCook and Gaston, the Lions faced off against top-seeded Florida Southwestern on Friday night. The Bucks jumped out to an early lead, and the Lions were unable to rally and erase the deficit, bringing their season to an end with a third-place national finish and an impressive 52-15 record. In its win over Gaston early on Friday, Wallace State took an early 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Kaylin Jones singled to start the inning and then advanced to second on Brandy Phillips' single. Charlie Kaiser reached base on a throwing error, and that allowed Jones and Phillips to score. The Lions extended their lead to 5-0 with 3 runs in the top of the third. Tanasia Thomas advanced to third on an infield hit and a 2-base error to start the inning. Phillips then singled to bring Thomas home. After Brooklyn Sertel reached on a single, Blakeland Austin singled to plate Phillips and Sertel. Wallace State extended their lead to 6-0 in the top of the fourth when Reese Decker, who had singled earlier, scored on Jones's infield hit. The Lions kept the offense going in the sixth, scoring 2 additional runs to push the lead to 8-0. Leah Graves, who singled to open the inning and advanced to second on Reese Decker's infield hit, scored on Ashlyn Burns' single. Decker then scored on Jones's ground out. Gaston finally broke through with 3 runs in the bottom of the sixth on a 3-run homer. Wallace State added 3 more runs in the seventh for an 11-3 lead. 3 consecutive singles by Kaiser, Sertel, and Austin loaded the bases to start the inning. Kaiser and Sertel scored when Graves reached an error. Austin then scored on Jones's single. Madeline Howard closed out the game with scoreless and hitless bottom of the seventh for the Lions' 11-3 win. Sertel finished 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored to lead Wallace at the plate. Jones, Kaiser, Austin, and Graves each had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Phillips had 2 hits, an RBI, 2 runs scored, while Decker added a hit and 2 runs scored. Thomas had a hit and a run scored. Phillips got the start and was dominant in getting the win. She held Gaston to 3 runs on 2 hits while striking out 2. Howard pitched 1 2/3 innings of scoreless and hitless relief. And that wraps up sports for today. After the break, the Red Hills Schoolhouse will open for free June 5th. A Cullman man is commissioned as second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. The Coroner's Office hosts SUIDI training class. And Cullman High School graduate is awarded a $1,000 scholarship. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The North Alabama Agriplex and Pineheart Living History Farm will open the doors of the Red Hill Schoolhouse to the community on Thursday, June 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. as part of the monthly Agriplex Heritage Skills Series. Visitors of all ages are encouraged to visit the property to discover the history of both the Red Hill Schoolhouse and education in Cullman County. There is no registration required, just stop in and say hello. During this time, volunteers will be dressed in old-fashioned clothing, letting visitors experience firsthand a typical school day with period classrooms, desks, and other educational tools that were used in the school back in the early 1900s. The address is 1714 Tally Ho Street in Cullman. For more information, contact Rachel Dawsey at cullmanag@gmail.com or 256-297-1044. In an historic moment for the school, Freed-Hardeman University's Spring 2025 commencement ceremony celebrated the first ever commissioning of an Army officer as new graduate Cody Goodwin from Cullman officially transitioned from student to second lieutenant in the United States Army. This achievement was made possible through FHU's partnership with the University of Tennessee at Martin's Army ROTC Skyhawk Battalion. For Goodwin, who also graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Law and Politics, the moment marked a significant step in his personal and career goals, saying he's thought about becoming an officer since high school. Following his graduation and commission, Goodwin plans to pursue his Master of Divinity at Freed-Hardeman in the fall and hopes to become an Army chaplain. In his other ambitions, he wants to move to Nashville to either pursue a career working in the music industry or as a lobbyist. The Cullman County Coroner's Office on May 21st through 22nd hosted a sudden unexplained infant death investigation SUIDI training class at the Cullman VFW with 17 local and neighboring agencies in attendance. Cullman County Coroner Jeremy Kilpatrick said SUIDI training is important for coroners, law enforcement, and medical examiners to be able to determine cause and manner of death of an infant. The class was sponsored by the Cullman County Coroner's Office, Shelby County Coroner's Office, and the Alabama Department of Public Health Bureau of Prevention, Promotion, and Support. Kilpatrick said that in 2024, 75% of the SUIDI cases investigated by the Cullman County Coroner's Office were undetermined. However, those 75% were due to unsafe sleeping conditions, and that ADPH can provide a pack and play free of charge for families that are unable to provide a safe sleeping space for their baby. Recent Cullman High School graduate Evan Cherry has been awarded a $1,000 scholarship from the Alabama 4-H Foundation for his years of involvement and dedication to the 4-H program. Cherry's journey began in the 4th grade when representatives visited his classroom and introduced him to hands-on projects and a friendly competition. He has been a member ever since. Throughout his involvement, Cherry found his passion in shooting sports, eventually becoming a regular participant in the state 4-H tournaments for skeet, trap, and sporting clays. In addition to his achievements in shooting sports, Cherry has left a lasting impression through unique demonstrations, including showcasing his rappelling skills in a freestyle performance. Cullman 4-H celebrated his accomplishments with the scholarship presentation, where they honored and recognized his hard work and commitment over the years. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at your weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and pay our respects to those who lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Sharon L.B. Jones, 78, of Cullman, passed away Friday, May 23rd. Funeral service will be at 11 a.m. Thursday, May 29th at Cullman Funeral Home Chapel with interment in White Oak Cemetery. Visitation will be Wednesday evening at the funeral home from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her friends and family. Now let's take a look at your weather forecast. For your Memorial Day, it looks like showers and thunderstorms are likely with a high near 82. Showers and thunderstorms continue through the night with a low around 68. Tuesday, expect showers and possible thunderstorms again with a high near 82 and a low around 67. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.